came down Brixton, yeah, and on the signpost there, or on the lamppost, somebody put a sticker there, and the sticker said, "Watch out for this, for the youth. They might steal your phone." The sticker was on the all over Brixton, yeah. And then this white brethren, he came next to me, and we're reading it together, and he says, "Yeah, well, we know why they're stealing phones, because you stole their soul." Question, I hear what you're saying. Do you mind me cutting you off there? I'm just believing I've seen your point.
Yeah.
Yeah? What I'm trying to say is this, yeah, Daniel. If you have a value system that prevented those children from needing a workshop, and you had a value system that helped them to cope with that stress once the stress already happened, which one would you choose?
No, you go with the value system, but is there a value system?
Huh?
Is there a value system that promotes that?
Absolutely.
What one?
That the value system is to understanding what a woman is before you touch her.
Okay. So if we're all installed with that understanding from the get-go.
Absolutely. Once we have that value system in place, you won't have this disaster. Because it's a disaster now.
Do you know what? I can understand where you're coming from with that one, and then yeah.
I mean, you're coping with it the way it's been ordered around our society, and many of us are doing that. But that's what we found on the ground.
So we could take by starting back there, we get rid of all this bit here. So the co-parenting, all that kind of stuff. If we don't need that, if we were.
Do you know how many men have fought each other to the death over a woman who both of them are having sex with?
I know people that have done that.
I had a couple, two guys almost kill each other on top of my car one night because of a woman. My whole car just got bloody because they're fighting over a woman out of the nightclub. You understand? Now, seeing that,
platinum stuff, boy. Jeez.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
seeing that alone damages the woman, damages the two guys, yeah. And we start repeating it. Now you're telling me, and don't forget, we've lived through this thing, yeah. Now every woman you meet now, not every, but if you know what I'm saying, yeah, you're gonna be thinking, yeah, they're no good. That's what they do. Every man the woman meets, they're thinking, all you dogs, that's what you do. And both of us are going at each other all the time. That's the value system we have. Come on, Daniel. There is no value on the woman. That you cannot have any value on a woman besides a piece of meat.
I don't know. I still disagree with that.
How can you when the evidence is there?
I still value my kids' mums. I'm not with them.
That's what we.
I'm not trying to have sex with them.
No question. If you valued a woman, why wouldn't you marry her?
Me? No, I still value her as a woman. She still has my kids.
I
didn't value her back then.
If you value her, why would you not marry her?
What now? Oh, because circumstances. Back then. No, I can't say I did. Remember, my kids are 7 and 13, so my kids are quite big. Yeah, they're not babies and nothing like that. So for me, back then, I wasn't in a position. I wasn't in the mental space to value women. I was very disrespectful back in the day. I'll be the first to hold up my hands. My fault why my relationships broke up and all that. But now, I've learned how to value women, and I believe I conduct myself in a way that shows that. And my partner that I'm with now, I show that to her as well, the way I am with her. So, that we do a lot of stuff together.
Would you marry her? Would you marry her?
Do you know what? I'm not a believer of marriage, so that's why. But for me, I don't think I need a piece of paper to validate my love for somebody or me want to be with somebody.
If she asked you to marry her,
we've had this conversation already.
Would you say no to her?
We've had this conversation already, so we know where we stand.
Huh? What's your?
We've had this conversation, so we know where we stand.
What do you tell us?
No, I said, do you know what? Do you know what? Honestly, I said I would get married if me and her had a child, and it was an equality thing. So we all got the same name and the unity in it. It's kind of, we're together, we're a unit. You understand? That's the only reason why I would get married, for unity. But other than that, for the piece of paper,
Would you want your children? I don't know if they're man or woman.
Both boys, 2 boys.
Both boys. Would you want them to only have leftover vaginas, for example?
Look, man, this is the world we live in.
It's serious talk. It's real talk.
I'm not going to lie. I'm from a time and an era where
it's the norm.
It's the norm.
So you don't mind.
So are they.
So even though it's the norm, you're telling me.
I would teach them how to respect women, though. And
how can they when the value to you see everything on this camera. Hear this thing, Daniel. Everything on this camera right now, yeah, it's got a value system attached to it. Everything right there, up to this little thing. There's certain things you must not do. Or if you do, it will stop working properly. Every little thing.
But having sex with many women won't stop you working.
Brother, look, we are attaching more value to this thing than to a woman. I mean, you telling me this thing it deserves better attention. This thing deserves better. Your job, when you go to your job, for example, all the rules of your job, which a job is a woman, yeah, a job is a woman, because you wake up and you gotta go to it, yeah. You spend all your sexual energy on it, yeah, to get something which you call a child, which is payment, yeah. All right, that's a spirit, yeah.
It's a different way of looking at it.
No, it's a spiritual way of looking at it. Now look, but when you go to the job, you do everything right, just to make sure that job doesn't break up. Just to make sure that job doesn't break up, you do everything right.
So the marriage, a marriage, I know you use the phrase, the piece of paper, kind of replace that phrase, piece of paper, for marriage, yeah? When you actually look at what marriage does, it's a societal thing. It's not just between a man and a woman. It's part of the construct of society that helps to keep families strong. I tell you why. I'm married 10 years, yeah? And in 10 years, me and him, we've been through some real crap, some shit.
And if you weren't married, you could walk away from
stuff.
it. Kind of.
If I wasn't married, I'd gone a long time.
Yeah. I get that. I understand that.
That's exactly
I
what I
understand
wanted
that.
to just
You know what I'm
ask you
saying?
right now.
And
Uncle,
yeah,
please
yeah,
make
yeah.
a pause
Yeah.
and let Daniel hear what you just said.
Yeah.
On that line you said, Daniel.
I
I know you're hearing. I know you're hearing the uncle, but just take a pause and hear what he's saying with that line.
Yeah.
Had you not be paper married, I'm supposing
Yeah.
what you mean.
Yeah,
you would have won. You would have done. You would have gone.
Skip long time.
You understand?
And
now, Daniel, should that shit hit your fan? Should that shit hit your fan?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, like
the stuff I've been through. You know, I said to my missus the other day, there's a mystery in when you stand in front of people. I'm not talking just. I don't know about the registry office business, but let's say I did it from a religious perspective.
Yeah.
I stood in a church on the pulpit, a couple of ministers, church folk, family, friends, all sorts there, all hearing that commitment I made to my missus and the rest of it. Yeah. And when you sign that piece of paper and you go to a honeymoon, you go back home now, start setting up home together. There's something really supernatural that happens.
Wow.
Yeah. And you can't quantify it. You can't put a mathematical formula on it. It's something mysterious that happens within your own soul. Yeah. And so, when I feel like walking away from the missus sometimes, when I used to, when I used to feel like that way.
That's real talk there, right there. That's real talk.
Let me come straight with you. About a couple of years ago, I was in the Caribbean and she was over here. I was doing some whatever. We had a row over 5,000 mile row, yeah?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's a long row.
It's a long way row, yeah? I'm telling you. And she did something that really pissed me off. I said, that's it. It's done. Now, in fact, we laughed about it last week, actually. She said, so when you told me it was done, did you mean it? I said, of course I didn't. She said, I know you didn't. The reason why I know I didn't mean it, because when she came on the phone 2 days after, she said to me, can we work this out? I said, of course we can.
Yeah.
Right? Now, although I told her it was over, I didn't mean a word of it.
Of course not. No, of course.
And deep down in here, it's like I'm thinking, but how can I walk away from this woman? I'm married to her. It's not even, you can't really rationalize it. It's just
would you say you've done a spiritual thing?
Yes, it's a spiritual
cement
thing. It's a spiritual, something spiritual happens to you. You don't do it. It's not you to do it. All you do, you say, you know what? I understand, like you said about the car. Before you get into that driver's seat, you better learn to drive, understand the implications of running a car, all those kind of things. When you understand the implications of what you get yourself into, and it's a spiritual thing with God, when you're in that thing, when it's sealed, it's a mystery, it's a supernatural event that happens that you find that you just cannot rip yourself away from it. It holds you. It kind of like, it fuses you together. That's why the Bible says, one flesh.
Are you a Christian?
Yeah. It's like one flesh.
Pick that up quick, innit?
Yeah. And that's when so I said to people, don't look at it just like a piece of paper.
There's a deeper meaning to it.
It's
I
a
try to
deep
take the
thing.
paper away from it. That's what I try to look at it from a different angle. That's why I just say all
Daniel.
those things because I'm trying to look at it from that perspective as opposed to
and
this
you're
means
right as well.
everything.
Yeah.
This is it's not all about the paper.
And guess what,
exactly.
Daniel?
It's about the
Daniel,
paper.
Daniel, guess what?
Exactly.
Guess what? I have a wife, but I'm not paper married.
Yeah.
No, because you had sex with her.
Yeah. Before I married her, I told her, look, this is what marriage is. Marriage is not the paper. Marriage is me having
Was you her
sex
first?
with you.
Was you
No,
her
she
first?
wasn't. No, she wasn't. You
You're
understand?
in the same boat as us then.
Yeah, that's why I'm able to come to you with what I'm
You
saying.
waited though,
You
despite all that dispute.
Yeah.
I mean, not dispute, but conversation.
Well,
you waited,
you know,
see, that's what the good
yeah.
thing.
It's
That's what the
it's
good
not
thing
it's
about
not
conversation.
it's not a condemning judgment.
Yeah.
It's a thing to say, look, where I took her from, I had to show her the picture of what it was first. I let her know, look, you can finish with the guy you're with and choose another guy. He'll have go. After a couple of months, he may decide, then leave you. And it's the next guy, and then the next guy, and then the next guy. By the time you get to me, you can't have much value for me. Come on, let's not lie. You don't value so much a second-hand car that's been used like 10 different drivers. It's not new to you. Don't tell me.
There's a bit of a
Yeah.
spin on that though because you could have someone.
I know,
like that,
I know,
and
I know,
they've been
Daniel.
treated
You have,
badly so many times.
and they could still. Yeah, man.
Right, and then you meet.
We
you
don't
meet me,
deny
say,
that.
Meet me for, say,
We don't
and you're like,
deny
oh
that.
my God, I've never had nothing like you before. So you know.
But
there's
what are
different
and
looking
what
at
are
it.
the chances of that? What are the chances of that? Say out of a 10 or out of 100, which woman would you meet after she's been through James, John, Fred, Jones, and Bob? That she's just still gonna be whole. That's why they call it a broken what? A broken heart. Some people get their heart get broken, they don't even have one anymore. They're operating without
Turn
one,
cold,
right?
yeah,
Isn't it,
turn
Uncle?
cold, yeah.
They're operating. That's how I see Daniel right now, and I don't blame him. He thinks I'm blaming him. What I'm saying is, they make us.
Cold as ass, baby.
15 years ago, I came down Brixton, yeah, and on the signpost there, or on the lamppost, somebody put a sticker there, and the sticker said, "Watch out for this, for the youth. They might steal your phone." The sticker was on the all over Brixton, yeah. And then this white brethren, he came next to me, and we're reading it together, and he says, "Yeah, well, we know why they're stealing phones, because you stole their soul.
That's quite deep.
You stole their soul, and you're asking them why they're stealing phones." So, but the boys are grown up. They don't know that something's missing from them.
Yeah.
They don't know that anymore. They're just like cold soldiers. Like you see the British, American soldiers go in Iraq and just kill everybody anyhow and pile them on top of each other and do all kinds of madness to them.
Did you just compare me to them?
No, Daniel, I hope you see what I'm saying. But there's some of them who are like, no, this is wrong. This is wrong. But them soldiers who could do it, they've lost something. You need to sit down with them to hear their story too. They've lost something which just makes. That's that.
No, do you know what? I would actually agree with you on that one because even for myself,
They're damaged,
Yeah.
almost impossibly beyond repair.
no, I can say.
You see what I mean? But when they come home, for example, and they're talking to me and you, do we know they're damaged beyond repair?
No.
Do we know?
Not that. No.
We don't. We can't, can we? Until you start hearing them speak. Say, I was working with a guy one day. Yeah, I'm the driver and he's the crewman. Yeah, and he said, Ty, he said, look, if I go to a customer's house and they talk to me anyhow, I could just leave what I'm doing and just put on the floor and I'll mash on their head till they're dead, man. And I'm like, what's that for? What's that for? And this guy, is a big, hunky brother like that, You look at him, you're terrified. You would think he'd be protecting people. You'd think the first thing he'd be saying is, if I go somewhere and see people in a problem, I'll just be, helping them. No, he's saying he's got some pain. That he goes to a customer, and when he say customer, it's all these Chelsea people, these rich snobs. He say if they talk rubbish, he just drop what he's doing and mash on their head. He don't care, yeah. Because he's got something that they stole from him Now, I mean, look,
No, I associate.
I know
get
you
mean,
see what
'cause
we're saying.
I associate that with relationships. I've had many broken relationships because of my experiences, my issues. that are very personal.
Call it something we inherited. Call it inheritance.
No, but it's like you were saying about the absent fathers. I was growing up. I grew up in that. So you
I grew
understand?
up in that too.
So,
I
you
grew
get me?
up in that.
I understand.
Daniel,
And it took many years for me to understand why I was doing certain things, why I was acting the way I was acting, why my relationship
So
was so
could
broken.
you're saying you could relate it to an absence of something?
Yeah, of course. I didn't know what it was until about 3-4 years when I went to uni. When I went to uni is when I actually opened my eyes to a lot of stuff.
See?
So, but before then, I was just angry.
And why am I
Angry
doing
heart.
why am I doing this talk with you, Daniel?
Because you identified that I needed to be spoken to because you know me.
Yeah, I know you, Daniel. Trust me. When you know me more, guess what's gonna happen? When you know me more, you're gonna tell me one day, Ty, it's true you know me. But I'm not saying on the egotistic front where I'm trying to say no. I'm just saying, say I only had 10 minutes with you. Say we met in Baghdad, yeah, and I only had 10 minutes with you. I should be able to go away and tell people I met a guy like this. I met a guy like that. If you meet him, he will look after you like this. He will do that for you. I'm sure you wouldn't say I'm wrong.
No,
You
that's
see
true.
what I
You can do
mean?
that. Yeah,
Because
you can do that.
knowing you has to come off some information about you. Your body vibes, your body language, the way you look, the way you respond to stuff. You know what I'm saying? There's certain people you meet. Tell me then, Daniel, how do we know when somebody doesn't like us from a distance?
Again,
You just stand there
You know
and you
what?
just know that
I don't know and I don't care.
you're a soldier, innit? I know that.
No, I just don't care.
I know.
I don't care what people think of me because I
But-
love myself.
Well,
Like, I'm happy
at
with
some
who I
point,
am.
it will get
Barring my kids, maybe.
it will
I care
get
what they think.
well. Put your kids in the spotlight for a second. Say you see people you know from experience. That's how people who don't like the type of your kids look at the type of your kids. You should be able to tell what's going on immediately. You know, if you
no,
see
I
people
agree with that,
looking
yeah,
at
yeah.
your kids in a bad way.
Oh no, someone don't
you
like
should
me.
be-
I can tell if someone don't like me.
Same.
But I just don't care. That's the point I'm making.
I
to you.
understand you.
So I enjoy them.
I care just a
hate
little
it.
bit. I care a little bit because I'm thinking I don't know what their problem is. You know, they
But
may
that's,
have had.
that's their problem.
I
And
know,
if they want to
I-
waste their energy and their time and all that with that, that's up to
Would
them.
you consider yourself a healer?
Me?
Yeah.
Right now, probably not. No.
So your woman you're with, if she has started having issues, could you heal her?
Define healing. What do you mean?
Well,
Make her feel good.
like you know, like all these women, many of them are coming from broken relationships, yeah, where something could trigger a new behavior in them, yeah. It could be something just going slightly wrong, and then it's like I have a wife right now who's not feeling too good about certain things. You understand? She's looking at it in a certain way. I'm looking at it a certain way too. But I'm the elder. I know what's right to do. But I'm still looking how she spread herself up here because we're still learning, you understand? But when I'm speaking to her, she's telling me things from 20 years ago. And I'm asking her, well, was that me? That wasn't me. It's got nothing to do with me. I'm just a healer. But don't blame me for trying to heal you. Don't blame me for trying to heal you.
Does she want to heal her though?
She doesn't
Does she
even,
want to heal her?
she can't recognize the thing.
You see, when you use the word for healer, do you think do you mean helper, someone a support rather than healer?
Call it that.
I mean,
Call it
I
all
would agree
those
with that.
things. Even call it all those things. But you know, there's some things up here, yeah, where we all have problems up here.
Yeah.
And I give myself as an example. I had issues like, I don't know, 15 years ago where I just thought my older brother just didn't step in. Just a few kind words would have healed me, would have helped me to do better, you know. But what happened eventually was that he didn't. So he damaged me and then I damaged them. I damaged him and his wife. Then 20 years later, they're telling me I was a bad guy. I'm saying, well, it looks like you forgot you didn't screw the screw in properly when you could. But they don't know. They don't know they could have done something just to fix me, just at that little point. Because everything went downhill for me. Lost a job, lost my car, lost my bank account. And they're telling me, well, do it yourself. You understand? But I'm coming from an African perspective where the older helps the younger. But now we're in England where they're saying it don't work like that anymore. You do your own thing. So I've got a problem there. So we all have things up here that we have to deal with, yeah? So that's some of the experiences which make me now come to the issue of our women. Because I have sisters, I have loads of sisters. And when I looked at their relationships, some of them, when they're starting the relationship, I see how they're dealing with the man. And I say, boy, but it's not good, but they're laughing about it. And I see us men, how we deal with the women too. I see it. And I'm seeing that we can't tell each other that we love each other. And this is a huge point now. We can't say we love our women, but allow that to keep happening. Come on, guys. Come on, talk to me.
Because I wasn't here at the beginning.
You see
of the
what I'm
conversation.
saying?
When you say allow that, what is that?
That thing whereby we don't care if we break up or not.
Oh, see, yeah.
We'll move on to the next woman or move on to the next man.
You didn't say that at the beginning. Because obviously, yeah, like,
Yeah,
no, but,
i.e. between man and woman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you can love somebody and break
No,
up.
you
and,
can't.
And
You
hurt,
can't.
and it can hurt.
No, brother.
So it doesn't hurt. So what's that then?
Brother, huh?
One person loves the other person,
Yeah.
and the other person doesn't love
You know, the thing is, my definition of love is based on a different standard. Trust me. Apply it, then you'll see the difference. The love we have is the one we're using as so-called adults, where I say, I have good feelings for you. I like your looks, your jokes, your talk, blah, blah, blah. And that means suddenly I agree, I love you now. Yeah? But it was never based on the idea that you say, look, sister, I'm a man, you're a woman. There's a reason why we were made man, woman. However you want to believe the creation to be, yeah? It's not the point here. The point is, a man is a man, a woman's a woman. The man's the giver, the woman's the receiver, yeah? The woman's going to bring forth the man's seed, and both of them have to look after it, yeah? You're not in competition. You're in helping each other to do something, yeah? Now, each person in this thing, however, is looking at it like, what's in it for me? The man is looking at it without the words I've just said here, which is man, woman should know what they are and what they're doing. And like this uncle said, it's a societal thing to keep a cohesion in society. So say you got brethren, say it's this brethren here. You have a little community. If you can keep a wife that is a sister, either to this brother from his mother, you marry her, you won't want to hurt him, will you? No. You'll do your best to keep your brother by keeping his sister with you. Allah here?
It's funny because I actually got that experience right now. One of my best friends is with my sister.
See? Now, if that's the community and you're married to his sister and so on and so forth, and we all settled like that, you can't go around banging each woman every day. No, even that woman can't do it. Not that she don't love you or she won't have problems, but when we I value this brother here, yeah? If he has a sister that becomes my wife,
Disrespect him. You don't
I know him. The love I have for him has to be complete. That with his sister, I just don't see how it's gonna end. You see what I mean? I don't see how it's gonna end. I can't even imagine it. And she can't do the same. So the bond, it's not that problems won't happen, Daniel. We're not saying problems won't come. That's where I'm coming from.
No, do you know what? I'm glad we finally got there. Miss has been calling me, so I got to go. Same thing.
Blessings
It's
to you,
interesting,
bro.
man. No, definitely.
Blessings to you. Blessings to you.
Yeah, no, cheers.
True love, you don't need to fear with true love. True love has no fear.
True. That's another thing. True.
Yeah.
True. Is she gonna
According
leave
to the
me?
Bible.
Is she not gonna leave me?
Yeah.
True love. Look, that's one thing. That's one thing to add for the records. That's one thing to add for the records.
I'm sorry to jump in though.
That's all right, brother. What you've said is very cemented.
Relevant.
This is one thing I have for the Islamic way, yeah, i.e. Islam. They take that marriage to mean so much more than anybody at the moment. Just to put that out there.